Time now for sports. Dick Ray in for Jim Barber. Good news, no, great news for Bear fans.
You guys were having a good time watching that game.
You know, I took a few calls today that some fans out there thought the announcers at Frank Gleber and Dick Vermeil were a little bit prejudiced toward Washington, but you guys downstairs made up for that dramatically. 1984 continues to be the year sports fans in Chicago will never forget. This afternoon, the Bears won their first playoff game since 1963, and as a result, the Washington Redskins will not be going to the Super Bowl for the third straight year. Mike Ditka knew going in that the Skins had never lost a playoff game at RFK Stadium. His defense held Theismann and company in check. Joe Washington is leveled there by Todd Bell. The fumble recovery helped the Bears tie the game up at 3-all with a field goal. With Walter Payton faking the reverse, his pass to Pat Dunsmore for 19 yards gave the Bears a 10-3 lead. The big play here, Steve Fuller will go to Willie Gault, 75 yards in all in the third quarter. The foot race that Willie Gault will win. The Bears led 16-3 at that point because following the touchdown, the extra point was missed by Bob Thomas. So it's 16-3 Bears at that point. Washington does come back with a 1-yard run from John Riggins, making it 16-10 Bears. Chicago will get the winning touchdown later in the third quarter. Fuller kept his cool all day. This one 16 yards to Dennis McKinnon. Washington would come up with a TD and a safety, but not enough time. The Bears over the Redskins this afternoon, 23-19.
Coming in, we knew we were in for a very physical game because what they do is they blitz a lot, and what they try to do in the blitzing is, clog up the running lanes. So what we did, we kind of counter with a couple of the quick passes, and one that Willie Gault caught was one of those plays that he broke it and went all the way. And then after that, it just opened up the game for the running lanes.
We got our work cut out. We're going up against the best team in football next week, but that seems the way we played all year. We go up against the best. We just try to do the best we can.
We couldn't make the plays, and I've been proud of our guys all year. We've had to overcome a lot, fought our heart out, and I'm proud to be a Redskin, proud of our players, and I just think the day goes to the Bears, though. They deserve it, and they did a great job.
The Bears move on to Candlestick Park in San Francisco for the NFC Championship game next weekend. Yesterday, the playoff favorites held true to form. The San Francisco 49ers beat the New York Giants 21-10. Joe Montana 29 yards to Freddie Solomon, one of his 3 touchdown passes. And at the Orange Bowl in Miami, 3 touchdown passes for Dan Marino. This one will go 33 yards to Mark Clayton. Miami over Seattle 31-10. The Dolphins will host the winner of this game. And right now, it's in the third quarter. Pittsburgh is trailing Denver 17-10. John Elway has thrown for 2 touchdown passes. Another frustrating season came to an end for Jerry Faust and Notre Dame in Honolulu. The Fighting Irish finished up 7-5 for the year after losing to SMU last night in the Hula Bowl. Notre Dame came from 14 points down. In the second quarter, Steve Berline puts up a wobbler for Alan Pinkett. Irish trailed 17-10 at halftime. An 11-yard run by Mark Brooks tied it up 17-all in the third quarter, but late in the game, a 2-yard run from Reggie Dupart gave the Mustangs a 27-20 victory. Another college bowl action last night. Kentucky got a 52-yard field goal late in the game to nip Wisconsin 20-19 in the Hall of Fame Bowl. The Badgers are the 3rd Big Ten casualty in postseason play. But tomorrow afternoon in Atlanta, Purdue will battle Virginia in the Peach Bowl. Boiler quarterback Jim Everett isn't guaranteeing victory for the Big Ten, but he expects a strong showing.
We're striving for a good, solid football team. I think we're aggressive and we're fun to watch. So, I don't think we're the ultimate, but I think we're pretty darn good.
People in El Paso, Texas are saying the same thing about Purdue's basketball team. Gene Cady's Boilers knocked off UTEP last night in the championship of the Sun Bowl Classic. Purdue led this one all the way. They got 12 points from Matt Gaddis. First bucket of the night gave Purdue the 2-0 lead. At one point, Purdue is shooting 77% from the floor. Steve Reed hits this bomb, 6-2 Purdue there. The Miners were led by Juden Smith. Watch this baseline move, tough move into the basket. He had 23 points. Reed was 6 for 6 in the first half from the floor. Purdue led by 9 points at halftime, and Gene Cady says, I'll drink to that. Reed was the tourney MVP with 23 points. He was 8 for 8 from the floor when he knocked this one down. James Bullock goes inside. He made the all-tourney team. 2 of his 17, and Robert Littlejohn seals the victory late in the game. Purdue goes on to win it 74-64. Tonight at Market Square Arena, it's Indiana against unbeaten Florida in the final of the 3rd annual Hoosier Classic. Last night, Indiana had an 11-point lead over Miami. Steve Alford led the Hoosiers with 24 points. He connects from the corner there. Uwe Blop, despite a poor shooting night, had 13 for Indiana. But in the second half, the Redskins got within 3. Ron Harper led the way for the Skins with 24. This steal gets them close with IU. Bob Knight and the Hoosiers did hold on to win by 5. The final count, 77-72. Mike Giommi comes through in the clutch with 14 points. In college action today, Notre Dame falls by 2 points to Creighton, 60-58. It took free throws with 11 seconds to go for Creighton to win that game. Barlow had 25, Hicks had 15. Notre Dame is now 5-2, and LSU beats Alabama 63-61. In the NBA last night, the Indiana Pacers snapped a 4-game losing streak with an impressive 123-115 win at Kansas City. 4 Pacers in double figures, including Jerry Seasteen with a career-high 28 points. It's on to Utah for Coach George Irvin. They play the Jazz on Tuesday night.
Very good. Thank you very much, Dick. And I'd be a Chicago Bear fan even if I wasn't born in Chicago. Back right after this. Stay with us.